All right, beautiful music there by Adepa Zella. We'll be speaking to her later on in this show. But right now we're going to be talking nutrition. And today on the nutrition segment, we're going to be talking eating for a healthy heart. Akusia Kunidu Yadom, who is a state-registered nutritionist, has joined us on the show this morning. She's going to be helping us to get into this conversation. Now, look, there's a big issue in Ghana. Right now, a lot of people are becoming obese. A lot of people are dying of heart attack. There are a lot of people who are even look, heart attacks have now, the age for heart attack has reduced, you know, in this country. And it's a very serious situation. It didn't used to be that, you know, you find 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds having heart attacks. But these days, it's not so uncommon. Well, Akosia is going to be explaining to us why. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm awesome, yourself.
Fantastic. I'm great. Thank you. All right. So, why is this conversation important?
It is because nutrition plays every role on everything about us. I will always start off by saying that we are everything we are putting in us. And so nutrition is very important because when there are lots of saturated fats being ingested, or when we are eating anyhow we want to eat and just trying to please our taste buds rather than focusing on our health. I always say that it is yours to buy and eat. It is the body's to do whatever it wants to do with it. And so whatever you are putting in you, if it has elements of unhealthy stuffs in there, you will affect your heart because it has everything to do with lots of saturated fats. It has everything to do with even your body size. It has everything to do with you making sure that with every information we sit here giving you, you are putting it into use because what's the point in having the segment? We just want to help people. So you need to make sure that, yes, I have the money to afford whatever I will eat, but it is important for me to pay attention to whatever I am putting in me because you can be putting your body at risk of atherosclerosis where we have a lot of fats being saturated in the passageways of where blood needs to flow to the heart. And so once that blockage or once that halting is established, now you are pushing yourself for trouble, either a heart failure, either a heart attack, either atherosclerosis, either hypertension, because they all it has everything to do with the heart. So if you're somebody with issues with your BP, don't think that, oh, I'm not at heart attack yet. But it is a type. So if you have your blood pressure spiking, you need to pay attention to it. And everything from heart failure, from hypertension, obesity, contributing to all that is as a result of the lifestyle practices we are involved in, and eating or nutrition heavily sits in there. Okay,
so what should we avoid? What are the culprits? What are the main culprits that we have been eating that we should not be eating?
I will always say that, I don't know, when I get the power to mention their name, I will. When I get money to go to court, I will mention their name. So there is, last week I spoke about it, they give you fries, they add chicken, breaded chicken to it, and they give you Coke on the side. I spoke about it last week that when sugar and salt come into contact, there is a reason for you wanting to eat more. So you sometimes don't believe that you're able to finish that bucket of chips. Like just 4 of us, we've managed to finish a bucket of chips and a bucket of chicken. It's because there is that craving for more because of those combinations. Ask yourself, how healthy is whatever I'm indulging in for my body? There are foods to stay off, processed foods and meats. Obviously, if I want to keep meat in this can, if I want to keep meat in my fridge or freezer, if I want to keep meat to be used tomorrow, the preservation methods will be different. I can just do proper, just some few minutes of steaming to make sure that the meat doesn't go bad. But if I want to put this on the shelf for people to buy, I have to prolong the shelf life. And I need to do something to it to make sure that product is staying for the 1 year, 2 years that it needs to be on the shelf. So I need to add stuffs, and that is where the problem is. I would want to add brine solution. Now, brine solution means that salt solution. You need a biochemist, you know that it's salt solution. And so that food sitting in a can, the salt content of the food has been enhanced. Here we are, when we are preparing our stews, our soups, we need to even add salt. And some people will still go forward to even add the boiling cubes to it. Now, that is salt. Another salt, so that salt is salt plus monosodium glutamate, and you adding table salt or whatever you have to it, and you adding the meat in that brine solution, which is also salt. So at the end of the day, your meal is a representation of a high sodium meal, and that puts you at risk of you having that. So when you say processed foods and meat, any meat sitting in cans, if in Ghana here it's easier, you can go to Adabraka market, any market, and there is a butchery there, so you can get meat, fresh meat to buy. Let's do our best to make sure we are eating fresh stuff. That is what I would say, because processed foods and meat, sodas, they are all bad. Lots of red meat. You need to cut down. And if you would have to do the meat, looking at my body type, I have a normal BMI. If I decide to go lean, it's because maybe I am a nutritionist, or I would want to be conscious as far as my health is concerned. But if you are bigger than I am, you would need to pay attention to it, because you may be obese, you may be morbidly obese. So already there is a reason for you to make sure you are careful as far as certain choices you are making is concerned. So you should go for the lean part instead of going for the general parts. Yes, it comes with less fat, baked foods, white rice, bread, pasta, pizza, a whole lot of things. Alcohol heavily sits in there. So we have examples on the screens for you, those who love to enjoy baked foods, confectionaries, pastries, what have you. You are putting your heart, the risk of your heart, in trouble. Yes, so you need to be mindful. Some of the canned foods I spoke about, the chicken and chips, I know you get what I mean. And then we have French fries and all that. We have yogurt, some yogurt sitting in there. On this segment, I always preach Greek yogurt because of what sits in there, the probiotic content or the goodness that sits in there. That is how we need to be eating. You don't eat because you want to fill your tummy. You don't buy milk because you can buy any milk. You just have to know exactly what sits in what you are buying. So these examples are some of the foods you need to be mindful of as far as you're trying to stay fit. Fast foods and the noodles. Let me hammer on the noodles. Yes, we need to really be careful of some of these foods.
Now, I just want to say this for the majority of people who are watching. These are the nicest foods available.
These are the nicest, right? Brookman is nice.
Listen.
Brookman is nice.
If you put
Brodier and kontomire abom is nice.
Nicely grilled bacon next to Brookman. Which one would?
I would choose Brookman.
Yes, you would, but you're a nutritionist, so you're already, you've got your issues. So you do nutritionist, so you do your thing.
No, but
it's about taste.
So you want to enjoy that taste at the expense of your health. Then you meet me. There are people who meet me and go like, what are you doing to look this way? I'm not paying anybody to make me look this way. I am eating the regular meals. I am just trying to make sure I put things together, simple things. I go and buy things that the average person will buy. I eat average meals. I go to bush canteen like you will go. I live a normal life. Come to think of it, when you go to the villages, when I'm making presentations, I tell them the asthma and all these things we are in Accra and Kumasi powerfully embracing. Do you see some of them there?
We know how
they are eating fresh. You pick okra from your garden and it's so fresh. They are eating clean and fresh. And we are lucky in Ghana here. You can just go to somebody's backyard and even borrow okra, or go to somebody's backyard and pick some dandelions. No, I've been picking dandelions I used to pick dandelions for an old man. I was paying nothing for the dandelions. So it is easier to do it. With 1 city, 2 cities, you can get tomatoes to buy. In Ghana, onions, you can get them to buy. So we have no excuse. Because what you are going to buy, that bucket and chicken, in fact, the amount you spend on that can prepare soup and stew.
So you're basically buying yourself illness.
Yes, you are buying yourself illness. When you are sick and you come, we'll take care of you. We pay.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure it's not about the taste. Think about your health.
Okay.
Because with the plates, even on your tablet right now, this is so colorful, this is beautiful. So you don't, if you want it to be nice, make it nice.
So talk to us about what foods we should be focusing on if our hearts are to be healthy. What food should we focus on?
Omega-3 fatty acid, rich foods. Example are the seafoods. And a classical example of a powerful omega-3 food, which is a seafood, is salmon.
Okay.
If you don't take salmon, the fishes will supply you. The other fishes, we have sardines, we have a lot of fishes, a lot of seafoods. They will supply you your need for omega-3 fatty acids. So focus on that and be deliberate about them. There are things, like I said, we should program our eating. A typical Ghanaian, I will just ask anybody in this studio, okay, what are you having for lunch? And they would have to think about it. But we need to plan our meals and know that, okay, today is Monday. Tomorrow, I know what I will be eating.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I know what I will be eating. If you can't, there are professionals like myself to help. We have high fiber foods. If you're somebody who is eating in line with the 4-star diets, where you have a lot of vegetables in there, you have the staples in there, you have the animal protein in there, you have the healthy fats in there, and you have all that we mostly sit here to preach sitting in there, you will satisfy whatever we are talking about as far as high fiber foods are concerned. Because vegetables will always make sure that there is that bulking to your food, and so your need for fiber will be attended to. Now you take fruits and greens, red vegetables. So we have a lot of vegetables. We have the bell peppers. We have the various types of bell peppers. We have various examples of fruits, and fruits like the citric family fruits. Or basically any fruits. When I tell people that when fruits are in season, we should eat them. So that we can get everything
benefit from them
whilst they are around. Because now, if I'm planning your meals and I put alasa in there, where are you going to find alasa? So when the fruits are in season, we make sure we get them so that we can get the benefits therein. Then you should do low sodium rich foods. If you are going to use a tin, a product sitting in a tin with brine solution, you should be mindful the extra salt that goes into your food, and you should be mindful of the boiling cubes. If you have to do that, you can just get rid of the boiling cubes, add a little bit of salt, and then go for fish or shrimp powder. Ginger, garlic will do the natural spicing or the spicing bit for you, so that you can at least avoid the A1 and the monosodium glutamate that will really hurt you in the end. Do low cholesterol foods. Avocado blessed with fat, but healthy fat. So be mindful of the kind of fat you are using. What oil are you using? Are you using the oil in that yellow container? If that is what you are using, there is a problem. There are lots of brands sitting in that container, but you can go for olive oil. You can go for sunflower oil. You can go for the more plant-based oil because they are low as far as saturated fats are concerned. And these saturated fats will affect your LDL cholesterol, which is a low density or the bad cholesterol, and that is what tends to hurt you as far as your heart health is concerned. Then you do reduce your intake of alcohol. We beg you, reduce your intake of alcohol.
When you say reduce intake of alcohol, give us a sense of proportions. So per week, how much can a person consume?
It is very tempting.
To be healthy.
It's very tempting. I wouldn't want to, but a shot a day. It's okay. A shot a day.
Not
Last week I
more than
spoke
that.
about it. A shot a day. For a woman, a shot is okay. For a woman, a man, 2 maximum is okay. For bottles, 1, not up to or more than 2 for a man. A woman, 1 is okay for a day. But if you can go like a week
without it,
it's better. It is good for your health. We will give you the information, but as to you putting it into practice, it says your body that will feel it. So you need to make sure you take care of your body. And then caloric balanced and support health weight. So everything about what happens to you as far as lifestyle related conditions has everything to do with your weight. Always make sure that you have the right weight. What is the right weight? When you take the BMI, we have the normal being 18.5, anything between 18.5 to 24.9 or 25. So once you are within 18 and 25, we say you have a normal BMI.
Okay.
It's not just about the BMI. We have the waist to hip circumference. Now, if you do your waist to hip ratio, and for a man it is above 1, for a woman it is above 0.9, there is a problem.
Which means that your
midsection has a
bigger
lot
than it should be.
It's bigger than it should be. So you can just pick a tape measure and just do the measurement. So 1 inch above your navel.
Yeah.
With Fruma, then you measure. That is where my belt is. That's where a lady's waist is. Then you measure from your hip bone, and then divide the hip by the waist.
Okay.
If this place happens to be bigger than this, madam, there is a problem. Big man, if you have that pouch in front of you and it is the same too, then it means that there is a problem. If you divide it and you're a woman and it's above 0.9, I can have people recording 0.8, 0.7, and I still tell them there is a reason for you to be concerned, because you can still feel the extra
love handles
there, and so it's a reason for you to be concerned. So you can check it, and then if you have issues, you should know what to do.
Okay, so you were mentioning earlier on omega-3 fatty acids. Now, that's also, you know, a fat. So talk to us about good fats and bad fats, because I know that there's a difference.
Yes.
We can't get rid of all fats.
No.
Some of them are good and we need them. So just take us through that.
So with omega-3 fatty acids, or the good fats and the bad fats, let's put mayonnaise there and put avocado there, because there are people who don't love plain salads.
Okay.
So I'm going to use something that we all want to eat. If I pick mayonnaise and I pick avocado, they all contain fat, but the fat in the mayonnaise can be dangerous.
Okay.
The fat in the avocado is excellent as far as as far as good fat is concerned. So I tell people who can't go off, who can't do plain salads, to just get avocado, what we call the nku. When we're cooking inside nku, then you beat it and make a cream out of the avocado, and instead of the mayonnaise you use the avocado. Now if I should eat mayonnaise and you eat the avocado cream-like salad, you are blessing yourself. I am doing damage to myself at the end of the day.
I guess I could mix that also with just a little bit of olive oil as well.
Excellent. Sprinkle it, and then it's like 2 omega-3s, omega and they offer the first now that day. It makes it good for the heart. It's a great heart healthy food. So you can just pick some few dandelions, chop some onions, chop some tomatoes on it, sprinkle a teaspoon of olive oil like yourself on it, and just chop some avocado onto it. And instead of doing the mayonnaise, if you decide to go that way, you are blessing your heart, because you are supplying your heart with healthy fat. So we have examples of healthy fat, good fat. The fat from the plant-based foods are also great, as far as you making sure you have the right fat in you. Nuts, pulses. If you are taking almonds, there are fats in there, but they are fat that will do your body some good, as far as limiting or reducing your LDL cholesterol is concerned, because we have the HDL, and the HDL is good cholesterol, and we have the LDL being the bad cholesterol. So your body already has some level of cholesterol in you naturally, and so you should be careful what you are bringing on board or what you are adding on.
Of course, we have to say that for things like hormones like testosterone, the precursor is cholesterol. So you don't want to necessarily get rid of cholesterol.
Of course, you don't need to, because then it would also affect you as far as that important need is concerned. So you need to play your cards well. Kweku is talking like that because he's a biochemist. If you don't understand whatever we are talking about, it's not on Google. The information is not on Google. Anybody can post any nonsense on Google. So if you need clarification to any of these, obviously you can do labs to also know where you fall. So you can just go to the lab after checking whatever I've spoken about here. If your BMI is bad, there is a way to go about your BMI. You can contact a nutritionist for help. There is a way to go about your waist to hip. If you realize that everything is not going well, you can just go into you can go into the lab or go to the hospital and just request that you would want a lipid profile to be done for you. Now, it will tell you your HDL cholesterol, your LDL cholesterol, that's the bad one. It will tell you your total cholesterol and then your triglycerides level.
Okay.
And that is where the problem is. The problem is between the triglycerides and the LDL cholesterol.
Okay.
Sometimes it's the reason why the total cholesterol will be affected.
Okay.
But then you need to always seek help to know where you fall.
Super, thank you. Akosia, where can people get in touch with you?
Okay, so on Instagram, you can follow me or send me DM at The Nutritionist Akosia, at The Nutritionist Akosia, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Nutritionist Akosia, and you can WhatsApp me on 0243350206.
All right, super. Thank you. Thank you very much. We had a good conversation here on the nutrition segment. We're speaking with Akosia Konedu Yadom, who is a state-registered nutritionist, and she's been helping us to understand how to eat healthy for our hearts.